The House of Representatives Committee on Finance has mandated the Accountant General's Office to block over 513 million naira in the account of the Federal Consumer Competition and Protection Commission (Fccpc). The chairman of the committee, Honorable James Falleke, gave the directive after expressing dissatisfaction with the remittances of the commission to the federal government. The whole scenario started at the resumed hearing of the consideration of the medium-term expenditure framework (MTEF) and fiscal strategy paper from 2023 to 2025. The problem started when the executive commissioner in charge of operations of the commission, Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, stated that the commission generated 4.024 billion naira in 2021.
1,341,106,789.35.
You remitted 1 billion,
yes, sir,
out of 4 billion.
Out of 4 billion, sir.
What happened to the remaining 3 billion?
We use it as our running costs, sir.
Sir?
We use it as our running costs.
You used... Do you have a budget for running overhead? Do you have a budget for overhead that was funded by the ministry? You have a budget for overhead?
Yes, we do.
The panel, which was led by its chairman, Honorable James Falleke, wondered how the federal government is expected to fund the budget when agencies spend the money they generated.
Fortunate, because I just tried to look at even the expenditure, and you realize that because possibly we don't have people checking on us, we just decide to go haywire with our spendings. I've seen a tendency where last year, in the whole of the year, you spent 38 million naira on publicity and advertisement. But so far, in 7 months, you spent over 142 million naira. The same thing, I think it applies to virtually all your overhead. If you look at local training, in the whole of 2021, you spent 198. 7 months into the year, you are spending over 266 million naira. If you look at local travel and transport, the same thing. So what we get from this, is that we just see it and create expenditures around this income that we generate. It's even more unfortunate that you're a fully funded agency, you're expected to do 100% remittance, and you just go haywire in terms of your spending. We're not prudent in the way we manage the resources of this country, and I think, sir, something really has to be done about some of these agencies.
At the beginning of every year, you envisage your expenditure. You prepare your budget based on what you think you are going to spend. And then you present it before the National Assembly and you get your approval. So if you are now coming to say that because you are doing a VAT enforcement, that's why you have to spend 2 billion on your own outside appropriation. The issue is here, outside appropriation.
So
the worst case scenario, sir, will have been that you will have brought your budget, you will have submitted, what do you call it? No, an amendment or a supplementary. Do you understand?
What we are trying to explain to you, sir, is that we have...
It's not what you are trying to explain, it is the law. I'm telling you the law.
We have appropriations, sir. It is approved by the National Assembly, sir. We have IGR budget approved by the National Assembly, sir.
No committee has power.
We're just learning that...
Hold on. Yes, no sir. Committee of this house has power to approve IGR outside the national budget.
Analysis of what IGR that came in, the analysis, the real analysis, and the real analysis of their spending, their expenditure. I think it is important, like what Mr. Chairman said, that who gave the approval to spend over 2 billion. There was no reasonable explanation as regards that. 3 billion last year, 2 billion this year. Thank you.
Thank you, right. We're talking about borrowing over 11 trillion for 2023. And then somebody is talking about financial autonomy. You want to spend the little, you want to be given the right to spend the money that should go to CRF. We shouldn't even get the little that is coming from you. You are getting about 3 point something billion this year, you are spending over 2 billion, and you are still insisting that you want financial autonomy when we are borrowing over 11 trillion to fund 2023 budget. Does it make sense to you, sir? Does it make sense to you? We are bleeding.
However, the executive commissioner in charge of operations has been directed by the Finance Committee to appear before it next Monday with relevant documents. Meanwhile, the House Committee on Finance has slammed the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation for failing to provide evidence of 25% of 6 billion naira internally generated revenue by Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) in 2020. Annie T. Patrick, Core TV News, Abuja.